All right, today we are pulling back the curtain on the financial system. It sounds complicated, right? But it's actually incredibly personal. We're going to demystify what it is, how it works, and why it matters to you.
So let's start with a really simple question. You put your money in the bank, and then what? I mean, have you ever really thought about it? It definitely doesn't just sit in some dusty old vault. No, it goes on an incredible journey, one that actually powers our entire world.
And that's exactly the journey we're going to follow. We're going to trace the secret path your savings take, right from your bank account to its final destination, which is, building businesses, creating jobs, and really just fueling all kinds of progress.
Okay, so let's get into what this system actually is. At its very heart, the financial system is basically a giant, super sophisticated matchmaker. Its main job, its whole purpose, is to connect people who have extra money, we call them savers, with people who need money for big ideas, the borrowers.
So what does that matchmaking flow look like? Well, it's a really powerful four-step loop. Step 1, you save your money. Step 2, a bank or another institution channels it. Step 3, a business borrows that money to, say, build a new factory. And step 4, the economy grows, which means a better standard of living for all of us. It just keeps going.
So now let's zoom out a bit. If your money is on a journey, then you can think of the entire financial system as this massive, intricate transportation network. It's like a giant financial superhighway.
And just like any superhighway, it's got a few key parts, right? The markets, those are the roads themselves. The financial institutions, your banks, your pension funds, those are the cars and trucks driving on the roads. And the laws and regulations, well, those are the traffic rules, the stuff that keeps everything moving forward without a massive pileup.
And this is just so important. Because without this system, all those savings would just be stuck, under a mattress somewhere, completely useless. The whole point of the system, its most critical job, is to unlock all that potential and turn idle cash into active, productive investment.
All right, so let's talk about the different lanes on this superhighway. These are what we call financial markets. It's simply where the buyers and sellers of money and investments all come together to do business.
Now, the first big way to split these markets up is by time. You've got the money market, which is all about short-term needs. Think less than a year. It's kind of like the local roads for daily business. Then you have the capital market. This is for the big, long-term stuff, funding major projects that take more than a year, like building new bridges or factories. That's the real interstate highway.
Okay, another way to look at it is new versus used. The primary market is where a company sells a brand new stock or bond for the very first time to raise money. It's exactly like buying a new car from the factory. The secondary market, that's what you see on the news, like the New York Stock Exchange, is where investors trade all those previously issued stocks and bonds with each other. It's the used car lot. It's crucial for liquidity, but the money is just changing hands between investors.
So we've got this incredible, complex superhighway that makes everything possible. But for it to actually work, for all this money to move around smoothly, the entire system relies on one absolutely critical thing: stability.
Because what happens when it breaks, when you have market crashes or bank failures? It's not just a problem for a few rich bankers. The whole flow of money, from savers to borrowers, just seizes up, and that can grind the entire real economy to a halt.
And the reason it's so dangerous is that everything is connected. A problem in one tiny corner of the market can spread like a virus to other markets, even across borders. This is called the risk of contagion. A perfect and scary example was the 1998 Asian financial crisis, where trouble in one country quickly spiraled into a global problem.
So, to make all of this a little less abstract, let's look at how these pieces, the markets, the institutions, the rule makers, all fit together in the real world. We're going to use Malaysia's financial system as our blueprint.
And right here, you can see a perfect picture of those two main pillars we've been talking about. You've got the financial markets, those are the roadways, like the capital markets, and then you have the financial institutions, the vehicles, like the banks and pension funds that are actually operating in those markets.
And who's in charge of this whole thing? Well, at the very top, you have the central bank, Bank Negara Malaysia, or BNM. Think of it as the ultimate traffic controller. Its job is to regulate the system, keep it stable, and make sure the whole thing runs smoothly for the good of the country.
And within that system, you've got all these different vehicles on the road. You've got your everyday commercial banks, which provide most of the funds. You've got investment banks for the big corporate deals. And then you have these massive players like the Employees Provident Fund, or EPF, which pools together huge amounts of our long-term savings and invests it.
So let's bring it all back home.
We've just followed the secret journey of your money. See, it doesn't just sit there. It flows through this incredibly complex, absolutely vital system. A system that's designed to connect your simple act of saving money directly to the engine that drives progress for everyone.
And that's really the key takeaway here. It's understanding the immense power of this system, but also its fragility. It's an amazing engine for growth, but it needs that stability to run properly. Which leaves us with a really important final thought. As our world keeps changing, how do we make sure this incredibly important system is truly built to last?